Now live.
Oh, are
Okay,
we live?
we have the fabulous Miss J.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
So I
Good
guess we will
morning.
get who we get when we get them.
I'm you're not seeing my face today because I've just got up. I'm not
Miss
I'm
J,
not going on camera.
I've done come to the contention of you will see this and how it is at,
Whenever.
yeah, it is pure and simple to the fact of this is how you get me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not putting on my face for everybody. It's too much trouble. I don't even do it for work, so
Yeah. See, I don't wear makeup very much actually. It's quite can't be bothered. I can't be bothered to do it all. I don't want to go out. I was going to just say I'm in Croatia at the moment, so it's 7:15 in the morning. It's going to be a blisteringly hot day. Um,
how hot has it been getting there?
Between 35 and 40, something like that.
It's been
Every
getting
day, every
up
day.
to 113 here in Texas.
Yeah, that's crazy. Not that hot. Yeah, not that hot.
Yeah, it's been getting up to 113. It's actually beginning to where ERCOT, the stupid monopoly electricity of Texas, has been saying we want all Texans to conserve electricity. And I'm like, well, I want ERCOT to actually A, not privatize the grid, and B, to
Mm.
actually fix the grid like they say they're going to every year.
Yeah,
Every single year, they say that they have poured money and resources into the electric grid to where during the summer and the winter, our two most brutal seasons of the year, that there won't have to be any conservations and nothing will get broken or run down or what have you, and it will survive the season. Yeah, that never happens.
yeah. Same for UK. Well, Croatia is even worse. It's quite I don't know, basic. I'm not off grid. I'm off the water mains here. So I've got electric, but the water is on. You have to be really careful with the water
Do you have a
here.
well?
Say again, please.
Do you have a well, a water well?
Yeah, the houses do. There's houses have wells, and the like in winter you could lose your electric as well. It's sort of a it snows very very heavily as well in winter. It gets really because I'll have to show you in a bit when I'm slightly more upright. I'm about 50 yards from the beach, and I'm 30 miles from the mountains. So the from the beach it just goes up to the mountains, I guess you'd say. It's very, 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 very beautiful. But everything's quite basic. The neighbours are all amazing. They've got solar, so a lot of neighbours have solar power here. Yeah.
Yeah, our hunting land, which is down south, um, it has nothing. No water, no electricity, uh, no plumbing, no nothing. So
Yeah.
when we go hunting, it is very off the grid. We have to bring our own water. We have to haul water in for everything. And
Yeah.
we have to use solar for like charging phones. We have to bring a generator, things like that.
Yeah.
We have looked into getting electricity and water well and stuff like that put out there.
Uh-huh.
And just for electricity alone, I want to say it was like 135,000.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Excuse me. Wow. Gosh.
Yeah, that was just to put electricity in. And then to dig a well, I think it was 60,000 to put in a well.
Blimey.
Yeah.
That's
And then
crazy.
it's
The
so
village has its
outdated.
own. It's sort of the village all has it's all, I suppose they're one organism is probably a good way in talking about it. And then you leave the village and then it's more built up on the main bit. But the village itself, they're all quite basic.
Hmm.
But it's very pretty. It's really pretty.
You see, if I could ever get a well put out there and at least go and get solar put out there, I would be fine. I'm like, I would live off the grid. I could do it.
Yeah,
That would be fine.
yeah.
But in suing and doing that, it would cost so much.
What my friends have done is they've sold up during COVID. They sold up. Um, they retired, sold up, and moved here, and they're building the house back. So it's going to have a kitchen in about a month's time. I think they're going to come and fit the kitchen in, but they've just had the basic wiring put in. Well, I think Ed did it actually. The basic wiring of the main kitchen, but when you look at the plugs and stuff on the walls, I'm scared to turn it on. It's like, ooh, that looks. Do I want to press that button? Might just not. And they've had aircon put in, but it's cost thousands upon thousands upon thousands because everything was so basic with the house.
Oh,
Um, yeah, but they've bought it like that to get it up to scratch, I guess. Yeah, it was pretty much derelict when they moved in, but they've done loads to it. Yeah, done loads to it. They've turned it into 3 apartments.
oh
It's a big
nice.
one downstairs and 2 smaller ones upstairs. Yeah, yeah, it's really good. So when I come now, when I come to stay, I have my own little bit. Um, so I'm not disturbing them when I'm getting up in the mornings and things like that. But they're not here anyway because they've gone away for a few days. Um, it's their anniversary, and I'm house sitting while they're
Nice.
away. Yeah, it's really nice because I don't I don't like people. I'll be honest with you. Um,
I'm right there with you. With my anxiety, I've become such a hermit that
yeah,
leave me alone. Leave me in my house. I'm fine.
that
I'm
and my friend's husband Ed, he's the same. He doesn't like, but we've known each other for a very, very long time. So, but that's cool. But Ed knows that I'll just leave him to it. If he wants some quiet, because I'm the same. Yeah. So
yeah,
might even not see him in the whole day because I'm doing my thing and he's doing his thing because we both like being on our own.
and see, I used to not be that way, Miss A. I would be,
Really?
yeah, really. I'm like, I was very much the extrovert, and especially when we first got married, I was always the one I needed to get out. I needed to go do something. I wanted to be out the house. You know, like I
Okay, I'm going to
really,
ask you a question there then, if I
uh huh.
can.
Go ahead.
Were you masking your anxiety at that point? Going, yeah, I'm fine. I can go and do that. Not a problem. Bosh that out the park. But underneath, did you have a little flutter there of anxiety all the time?
I probably did, but didn't know it.
Yeah. What about awkwardness? Did you feel awkward?
Oh, all the time, everywhere. But the
Oh,
awkwardness was because
yeah.
I'm that type of person. I don't.
Yeah.
But on the same hand, I can talk to a complete stranger and I'm that person. I can do it and be okay with it. But I've always been that type of person. I'm actually known throughout my whole family. I am the old people
The same as
baby pet whisperer. I can talk to those three groups and I'm completely fine. Like if it's an old person, a baby, or a pet, or some kind of animal, it doesn't even have to be a pet, it can be any kind of animal.
Mhm.
Like link me to my thing and I'm fine.
I'm
Anybody of
like
my
Dr. Doolittle. I'm like Dr. Doolittle. I could stand there and all
right,
the birds would just come and be on my shoulders and all the animals come to me. And if I just go, oh, and my whole family and friends are like, how do you do that? You're saying?
yeah, but people of my own age or
Yeah.
people a little older than me, no, I don't have that knack. I usually don't get along, especially with females. Oh Lord, have mercy, no. Me and
Yeah.
females of my own age, nope, forget about it. Um,
I have that issue with more with strangers who are married. It's like uh, say there was a couple and myself and another couple, but I know one couple, but I don't know the other couple. The girlfriend always becomes protective because I seem to be able to relate to men
see, that's me.
in a non-sexual, jokey, blokey kind of way,
Yes.
and I can fit in to
And see,
that.
that's me because I'm more of the tomboy.
Um, and there's never, yeah, yeah,
Are you like that? Are you like the tomboy style? Like you're not the girly
yeah.
girlish?
I don't know, I just, I guess so. Before my accident, I was, I, I was the one digging trenches with if someone was doing their house up, I'd be right in there getting dirty and I'll come and help you
Yes.
paint. Whereas I have a lot of friends who'd be, oh no, don't touch paintbrush, my nails are too long. But I'm not
Yes.
like that. I get stuck
That's
in.
me. In fact,
Yeah.
my spouse just got me. Let me see if I can get it real quick. I thought it was within reaching distance, and it's not.
I've got to get bug cream while you're doing that. Hold it. I've got 2 new bites, little bastards.
Because I am the person that is so handy and
Mm-hmm.
I'm always doing something, and my spouse is not the like handy fixer upper type. I
Yeah.
got this book.
Oh yeah. What's that?
It's a home fixer upper guide.
Oh, is it?
Yes, and I
I'm on
love
my
it
phone. So.
because
Yeah.
I'm the type that I do. I I've always been that way. My dad's actually a carpenter,
Yeah.
and so I'm a carpenter's daughter. I've always loved fixing, doing things, and so if anything around here breaks, I'm always the one going, "Let me try to fix it first." And so my spouse got me this book because knowing I'm the one going, "Wait, hold on, let me try to fix it. So I got my own home repair book now.
I think it's a good idea. We should all know how to change a plug. We should all know how to change a tire. We should all know how to wire something to something else. We should all know how to do brickwork. We should all know how to do painting and decorating. And I'm trying to think while I'm sat here looking what he's doing.
Well,
tiling. Yeah.
I was the type growing up too that my mom and dad, they both had girls. I have a half brother that's an older brother, but with my mom and dad, it was just us two girls. But they always taught us we should know how to do everything, but expect the man to do it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So we were always taught how to change the oil, how to change a tire, how
Yeah.
to do things that a man should know how to do, but on the same hand, we know how to do in case of.
Yeah.
And me, I'm the type of, I don't want anybody to do it for me. I want to do it myself. I'm stubborn. I don't want anybody to do it for me. No, you let me do it. And so I'm not a way. I'm stubborn. I don't care that I don't want the label on me of I'm a girl, so I can't do it. It's
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
I don't care that I'm a girl. That should have nothing to do with it. Let me do it.
Yeah. Let me do it.
That's the one thing, like here at the house, when I started working from home,
Mhm.
I had to put a doorway up because my little dog over here, I'm sure you've seen him before in my videos,
Yeah.
he is attached quite fondly. And so when I'm working, he will be right at my office door and will yelp. So I've had to put up a hallway door to where he's on this side of the house so that way he's not heard at the office door. I had no problem putting up that hall door.
Yeah. Hanging the door. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could absolutely. Do you call it hanging a door over there? I don't know if that's what.
Hanging the door.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
I know how to hang a door as well.
yeah,
I'd never do it because obviously my dad would probably come over and done it, when I was younger. But I do know how to do it. I do. Yeah, I know how to do it.
yeah, I put the plates down.
Wow. Yeah.
I put the ram set. I got the ram set to put the nails in the concrete. To put the plates down, I put the plates
Yeah.
down. I got the trim, all that put in because there's not really parts of the wall that's really like extended. It's more like the sides are like that big. So there wasn't really like big parts that.
All right. Yeah.
So it was more or less just putting up like just a little bit of trim, and then I put a big header at the top, and then hang the door. And hanging the door is pretty solid, so I waited for my spouse to get home to where we could do it properly.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, then when my spouse gets home, that's when somebody gets hurt and a toenail comes off.
Yeet.
And I'm not lying. My spouse goes to hang the door swings open, goes right across the foot, and gets
ripped. Yeah.
Toenail. Yeah.
Nuts. Yeah. That's always that, is it? I should have just done it myself. I bet you said it, didn't you?
I was like, why didn't you put some shoes on? I'm like, of course, you're barefooted. Something's going to happen. I'm just like, oh, geez.
Can I pause 1 minute? I'm just going to have to go to the loo again. I said I've just got up. 1 moment. I won't be long. I'll be 2 minutes. Yeah, one more.
What are you doing, honey? Huh? What are you doing? Come here. What are you doing, honey? Huh? What are you doing? Get the fight. Get the fight. Yeah. Get the fight. Yeah. Yeah, this is Brat. She's my old lady cat. Right, Brat. Yeah. Did you get this spot again? Yeah. There you go. Hmm. Such a good kitty. Mhm.
Back in the room. Back in the room. Right.
I
Let me
have my
just get
old
that
lady
forward.
today.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. Oh, right, there you are. Yeah, I wanted to see. I saw you were online, and I was like, right. I really wanted to have a catch up with you and just see how you're doing, really. With your what's going on with you, and how you're coping with your religious trauma and managing your trauma at the moment.
At the moment, it's going good. Like I said, it was um, talking to my grandma the other day,
Mhm.
and letting her know that was kind of on one hand didn't want to, but on the other hand I did, just because I know she's fixing to have a pretty hefty battle in front of her if it does turn out to be cancer. I'm hoping it doesn't. All we know at the moment is that she has some nodules in her lung
Right.
that has doubled in size.
Okay.
And um, they have said, oh, well, all we can do is check at your next PET scan and see what it is then. And
Right.
at that time, it was 6 months from that time. So October is her 6 month PET, PET scan checkup. And of course, at that time, I was furious because I'm like, okay, she has these nodules and they've doubled in size and you want to wait 6 months. That's insane.
That's
Knowing she already has past history of lung cancer.
oh gosh. Right.
And so it just
Yeah.
infuriated me. Um, but
Just wasn't logical.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's not. It's not logical at all.
no.
But
Okay,
October she goes
how
for
is that
that.
your problem?
But I let her know the other day, it's just with me and my side of things that I'm agnostic. And she
You're
wasn't.
exhausted.
What's that?
You said you're exhausted.
No, I let her know that I'm agnostic.
Oh, agnostic. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Yeah,
um, sometimes, when it's just easier not to say anything, isn't it?
yes. But on the same hand, Miss Shay, to be fair, more or less, she's what got me into religion. I had pretty much been going to church with her growing up.
Yeah.
She was the one that mostly she took me to church. Um, I, especially when I was younger, I can remember that's what I went to church with her. Every Wednesday and Sunday we went to church. That's where most of my Pentecostal background is with her. Um, it's fair to say afterwards, when I was a teenager, yeah, of course I had the choice. I went afterwards. I went on my own. Um, when I was younger, I went with her. I went with my aunt. Went with my aunt Cindy to the Baptist church for a little while. Um, but for the most part, I went with my grandmother, and that's why I wanted to let her know. You know, that was that was my feelings, and that's I pretty much what I go by now is that I'm
Yeah.
now agnostic. And the only reason I even really told her is because, to be fair, they don't even really go to church anymore. They're more what you would consider like cultural Christians.
Yes.
And so it's like, you know, what's the point of even trying to pretend if they don't even go to church?
It's again, it goes back to the fear
Right,
of, if I don't believe, am I going to burn?
right.
It's as simple as that. People
And
try and say it's not that. I have had so many people, well, that's not true. I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and he died for my sins and he is omnipotent. Omnipotent.
mm-hmm,
Well, no, he's not. Because it doesn't, it's just, it's not logical what you're saying, but it doesn't matter. You can say black is white, and because of fear and because of guilt, people don't, they keep that belief just in case they're wrong, just in case they're wrong, just in case and then they even try and get themselves forgiven or forgive themselves for even thinking such a thing.
right. They do.
um Sorry.
I can remember being, as young as 15, 16 years old, and remember thinking before I went to sleep at night, thinking, okay, Jesus, forgive me for my sins, and making sure I said that prayer every night and making sure I was forgiven for my sins in case something happened to me in my sleep, because I knew
Gosh.
if something didn't happen or something happened in my sleep and my sins weren't forgiven, I would go to hell.
Oh man, that's just awful, isn't it?
Yes.
And
And I think the new word I've learned lately is scrupulosity. Am I saying that right?
Scrupulosity.
Yes.
I don't know what that means.
It is a type of like OCD for religion. And
Yeah.
it's to where you're pretty much you're OCD about your religious things, and you do it so much and so frivolous that you're OCD in your religion. You make sure you do things and you do it the right way because you fear that, and you think that if you don't do it, that it's going to harm you, or you're controlled, and um, it comes down to like OCD. When you think of it, most OCD people, they have to do things a certain amount of times. Like most OCD
Yeah.
people, it's like 3 times. They have to do something 3 times to make sure it is done. For people with religious scrupulosity, it is they have to do something to make sure they do it and do it right, to have their sins forgiven, or to make sure that um, they do get into heaven, or they do get um, their certain steps done, to, like, in the IBLP, they have to do certain
Yeah.
steps to get to the next level.
Yeah.
So they have to make sure they do certain things to make sure other things are done out of fear. And
It's
so,
in other words, I'm gonna use a different sort of formula there. But if you
uh-huh,
were to have a computer game and you were doing a platform game and you had to go through each platform and you had to find the mushroom, get the mushroom, but you had to find another mushroom and get the mushroom, get another mushroom. Right, okay, you've got that, so now you can go on to the next level, or you can go, right, that's it now. I've completed that level, or that day, and you can go tick. Okay, next day, and then you do it again, and you go
yeah,
through it again, and you say, right, tick. I have done that.
yes. And
Um, but as a computer game reference, if you're doing that over and over and over again, you'll actually stop doing the game because it's just like, why am I doing that? But it takes ages for you to realize that you're never going to get past that level, so you just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going. But because it's a computer game, you can say, right, I've done that for a week, I'm not doing that again.
right. And
But this is a lifetime version of that.
right. It is. And
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
takes, like you said, it takes a lifetime. It takes so
Yeah.
much to sit back and analyze it and to think, wait a second, but why?
Mm,
Because in Christianity, you you're taught not to question. You're taught to have faith.
yes.
And to question, it's it's kind of like a sin. It's if you question it, then you're not having faith.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point in it, is you've got to have faith. But then it
Just
goes
and
back,
all you need to remove is that one word and that one thing, and the whole thing will
crumble.
spiral out of control. It just goes
Hmm.
doesn't it's
Yes.
nothing.
If you and it literally is like that. If you were to remove the word faith
Yeah.
out of Christianity,
Yeah.
you've got nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most people are like, but that's what it's built on. And I want to sit there and go, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like my grandmother. She brought it up to me and she goes, but Brandy, we have faith in the air we breathe. We have faith in the rain. I said, yes, but the air we breathe, we can functionally see, we breathe the air.
It's
We
doing
can
it.
see that we can't live without the air.
Yeah.
I said the rain. We see the rain falling.
Yeah.
That is something that is it. We see it. I
Yeah.
said that is not something that is based on faith.
No.
That is tangible.
Yes.
I said so.
But faith is tangible then. Then that's what comes next, isn't it? Faith. But I really feel that faith is the key. And understanding that Christianity is built on guilt and fear. Once you acknowledge and how would you say acknowledge? Yes, different one. Once you,
I want to say, Michelle, once you start questioning, that's really where it comes into play.
yeah,
Because that's what it took for me. I simply started saying, but why?
were you the but why kid at school as well?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
I
was.
was too. I was
And
too.
for me, like, you know, yeah, the whole Noah's Ark thing. Okay.
Hmm.
If you take Noah's Ark, people say that there was two of each kind of animal on the ark. Okay. Explain to me how there was two of like, I don't know, 60 plus thousand animals on this Noah's Ark,
Hmm.
which there was a whole lot more than that. I'm just bringing up a number.
Hmm.
There was only, I think, 9 people on the ark,
Yes.
and there's 9 people on the ark, no windows. There's all these animals.
Hmm.
How do you feed, water, and maintain the ship, and all of this for 40 days and 40 nights? Just 1 week alone, just 1 week, you could not essentially take care of that many animals on Noah's Ark with just 9 people.
Well, you'd have to slaughter. You'd have to have animals on board that you were slaughtering to feed the animals. So you have your 2 lions, your 2 tigers, and your 2 bears, and you need your 2 wildebeest. But okay, we'll have those 2 wildebeest, but those 2 over there, we're going to keep those 2 back because that's for the lions, right? Then we got to keep those. We got to get a couple more. Do you know what I mean? It's just like what? You know, it's not logical. It's dumb. Because all of those lions and tigers and bears, or if you just had every variety, or even not every variety, just literally 2 bears on their own for 40 days. How much? Or 2 tigers or whatever. It's
So
just.
you're talking about 9 people taking care
Mhm.
of all these animals. Even
Yeah,
for 1 week, you even 1 week around the clock, 9 people could not take care of that many animals.
that's right.
I
Don't
mean,
worry, God will do it.
I'm like, okay, people, logically think about
Yeah,
how this would make sense.
yeah.
It doesn't. Even the replica that they built in Kansas, I believe it is, Kansas City, here in the States.
They actually built an ark following
Yes,
the
yes, they
dimensions.
did, Miss J. Look it up. They really, really did. But it's been proven that this replica that they built cannot and will not float. It is not a functioning boat.
Yeah, you even forget about the fact that wouldn't even float. Yeah,
Right.
it's funny. Uh,
And I'm just like, okay, so not only can you not efficiently take care of the animals on this ark, but the damn thing's not even going to float. So, how in the hell are you going to float around for 40 days and 40 nights with the earth that's supposedly flooded, but it's not going to float?
So,
I mean, that's what I'm saying is that the hypocrisy alone in the Bible is just asinine. It's just
my friend yesterday, I'm always, because she does this thing. We're really good friends, but before I say this, but she's pissed me off over the last year because she's been posting she flicks her little card over and there's the next Bible verse, right? You
uh-huh.
patronizing cow, right? So I would. It's just like I've. So about 6 months ago, or 4 or 5 months ago, I started posting just, for me, logical things that you need to hear. Yeah, and for the first time in the whole time that she's been doing it and I've been doing it, she actually commented on one of my posts. Now that we've just become friends on Facebook, you'll actually see it. Um, and uh, and my mate James has posted about Stephen Fry. He's done a great thing on YouTube. The link is on my Facebook. But my mate is she then was really saddened that that my eyes aren't open at seeing the glory of the creator, right? And it's like, how patronizing.
Right?
How patronizing. I've got my door open right now watching a storm coming in, you know. It's magnificent and it's going to be amazing, and I'm just going to watch it come in. The going, and I love nature, and I'm, all the lizards. I'm watching the lizards running around and things like that, and being on the beach, and I love it, absolutely love it. And I thought, cheeky mare, saying that, and then I can't bear people putting Bible quotes out. And they get my goat. They really, really get my goat. Because it's like, I know something you don't know.
Right.
I know something you really don't know. Yeah. Do you want to know as well? You want to know? And I'm quite capable of reading the Bible and taking information from the Bible, because there is some fascinating stuff in there. But it was written 400-500 years ago. Wasn't
Longer than
written.
that.
Say again?
Longer than that.
Well, the King James Bible was only written 500 years ago, which is the Bible everybody uses now, and they've removed so much of the Bible in the last 200 years. It's not the same Bible that was written 3,000 years ago, with the Old Testament and the New Testament. It's been what's happened is the Bible has been translated to how they wanted it translated
Oh,
here
yeah.
in the, so when those amazing pieces that are missing from the Bible aren't in there, it has been contrived and controlled. It's coercive behavior. That's what it is. It's coercive, so that we are more honed into fear, and if you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. If you don't do this, this is what's going to happen. Whereas
Right.
Judith, the Judah, Judith, Judith, the 12 disciples and Judith, no, Judah. Then you've got I'm trying to think of, I can't think of, and it is early in the morning for me. I can't think of any bloody Bible books that aren't in the Bible now.
That aren't in it? Oh God.
I can't think of the names, but in Ethiopia, their Bible is that Bible. Their Bible is the full what it used to be Bible. And then you have a division in Christianity, slice that divides that Christianity from that Christianity. Then you have Muslim that cuts through that Christianity there because he's not come back yet. Then you've got Judaism that cuts through that, and then divide.
Mm-hmm.
The Bible is there as a way of controlling the local neighborhood, the local people. The church is there as a communication tool to inform people of where and what is happening in your area. But I don't believe that cathedrals and things were built for the same purpose as what they are used for now. Either. I don't think that. I believe that there is an energy, and I think you touched on that maybe before we went live, actually, how an energy, it's not, I wouldn't even call myself agnostic, because I know you said that about yourself. I don't see myself as that. I see it as an energy. I see that there is a natural energy that flows around the earth, and we can feel it.
That's me. And when I say agnostic, I think there is a higher power, but I'm not one to say it's God or a blue alien from Mars. I don't know. I think there is something. I think at one point in time, there was something that had to have made all of this. I don't know what it is. I don't know who it is. I don't know if it was a blue ball of energy or an alien, or if it was God himself. Nobody knows. But I'm not going to put all of my cards in one stack and say, yes, that was God.
We have a different belief system, you know. I feel that there is a natural energy, and that hopefully I'm not going to lose signal. I'm just going to actually let me put you there 1 minute. I'm just going to go and get my tobacco. I don't move from there in case the Wi-Fi goes. Stay there. I'll keep you there. I'm just going to get my tobacco.
Am I going to grow legs and walk away?
I'm going to put some legs on so I can go out. Trousers. Pants. How's that? Is that good?
I was thinking you're going to put some legs on. Hopefully you have some legs.
Trousers. Right. I don't really want to go out because I'm on a balcony. I don't want to go outside of my neighbours. Have a little look up, you know what I mean? Right.
So when you said you were going to put me down, I was like, oh, am I going to grow legs and walk away?
Let's come out there. Let's make sure my Wi-Fi. Dodgers. Is that wet? No, it's not wet. That's outside, by the way, not me.
You need to push some of that rain this way, Miss J.
Ashtray. Coming over to the door. I'm back in the room. There we go. Back here.
Yeah, we'll definitely we'll have to get on again.
Lost signal. Am I there? Am I alright? Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you're there.
I know. Here in Croatia, there is statues of Mary on every freaking street corner. And we're not talking. Maybe I should walk up and show you in a bit. We're talking life-size statues of Mary, and as you go around, she is in a glass dome, or she's got a special castle around her.
Like Mary, Jesus, and Mary type thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll have to. I should take photographs of them. Actually, I might do that today. That's actually a really good thing for me to do today. Actually, I'll go up the village, go into the village properly, and get some pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will actually. I will do that. And that in itself is an idol, but yet don't worship idols. But there it is. There's the idol. There it is. Right, yeah, I've got my tobacco now.
Yeah, here in the U.S., I think the biggest thing used to be the Ten Commandments everywhere. But
Right.
They started taking it down.
Okay.
They even started taking "In God We Trust" off of police vehicles. Which is good, because here we have a thing called separation of church and state, which they really need to abide by, because that is what this country was founded on. It's actually in the Constitution. It's separation of church and state. The state should not be involved in a person's religious affairs, because the country was founded on the fact that each person has the right, I can't talk now, the right to their own religious freedoms. And I believe that. I mean, everybody has their own choice for their own religious freedom. I mean, if you want to believe in Christianity, Muslim, Buddhism, Scientology, I mean, whatever you want to believe in, that's your own right. And I believe that if you want to believe in your own religious freedom, that's fine. But I believe that also the government doesn't have the right to step into that unless there is some kind of harmful act being done.
This is an observation just from outside looking in. So you can have religious freedom as long as it's in God we trust.
As long as
that in God we trust. As you've got religious freedom, but everywhere's all these. But what we really want you to do is actually be Christian.
Oh yes, I mean,
yeah,
it really is. I mean, America does try to push that. Because
there aren't any Muslims. Yeah, there's no Muslims here because of the Croatian. There was the war, wasn't there? So this area won't have Muslim people in the area. It's all Catholic.
Oh really?
Yeah, Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here they really do. And now, I mean, they're one end of like one side of the country is trying to push that in God we trust, and they're trying to put prayer back in school and things like that, and the other side of the country is trying to get that taken away. And of course, I'm on the side of get it taken away because I just I believe that you shouldn't push that on children. I believe
I
you shouldn't
agree.
push any religion on children,
And
but that's
and
just my belief.
all we have it should not involve God. It should involve you being able to um, uh,
Get the
be
education
what's the word? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
You should be. Uh, uh,
I can remember
mhm,
being little, like really little in school, and I'm talking
mhm,
pre-K, kindergarten. So that's
yeah.
4 or 5 years old. And back
Mhm.
then, they did have to where we stood in class, we said the pledge, we did a prayer. That's what we did every morning in school. I remember.
Did you?
Yes.
Wow,
hmm I remember it.
wow, wow.
They took it out of schools, and now they're pushing to have it back. And
Mm.
I don't think it's right because that is pushing religion on kids. That's pushing Christian religion on kids that may not have that religion.
It's the values, but the
Yes.
parents should be able to put those values correctly anyway. Just because it's a right or wrong thing, isn't it? Rather
Right.
than it's what God says. It's whether it's right or wrong. Because using God as the well, this is right.
Mhm.
Oh, okay then. Oh, right, okay. Is that what we're doing? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I was brought up. My dad's an international preacher, or was. He's retired now. Um, and he went around the world telling people that in God we trust. Basically, that's what. And if you don't believe in Jesus Christ, He's the Son of God, then you're going to hell.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it. It doesn't matter what
Yes,
religion
sir.
you are. And when you start to get older and you realise that there is Catholicism and there is Pentecostal and there is I'm just born again or whatever,
Mhm.
um, to question, well, it's just you're believing in the same God. Why is it different? Why
Right.
can't a Catholic person go to heaven, and if they don't believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God? Why, if a Jew won't go to heaven because Jesus Christ is not is the Son of God? And that's crazy. It's the
Mhm.
same. You're believing in the same God.
Right.
Muslim believe in the same God. You're believing in the same thing, but my
Right.
God is much more right than your God.
Right.
Um,
And it is so crazy because
yeah, it is.
it's like
It is
between
mental.
as far as I know, and I could have it totally wrong, so nobody come after me, don't bash me for this. But as far as I know, from what I understand, the only difference between the Muslim religion and the Christianity religion is that in the Bible, it splits off, I think, at the son of David. I
Is it
could be
David
wrong.
or Abraham?
And
Is it
maybe it's Abraham.
Abraham? Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's Abraham.
it
Yeah,
splits off. And
yeah,
the Quran follows the one son, and the Bible follows the other son.
yes,
But they both are Christian based, basically. Like, they both believe that Jesus died on the cross. They both believe in God.
yeah,
It's just one takes one path and one takes another path between two brothers.
yes,
That is the only difference. And
yes.
it's like, why is there so much religious persecution over something that is as simple as it takes a turn over brothers on a story. You know what I mean? I know it's
Yes.
more complex than that.
Yes.
I mean, it is more complex than that. But when you drill down to it, that's what it is. It's it
You're
literally
right.
takes a
That's how you
turn
do it.
that,
You see, you boil it down.
yeah, I mean, it's just why?
Yeah.
Why hate each other? Why hate other
Mm.
religions when it just breaks down to where your Bible goes one direction with one brother, our Bible goes another direction with another brother, but we both
Uh-huh.
believe in the same God.
Yeah.
I mean, there should
Isn't
be
it
no
tragic?
hatred.
It's so tragic.
It is.
And it divides the world. It divides democracy. It divides neighbours, and it keeps you divided, so that you constantly are in a constant battle with your neighbour, with
Right.
your next town along, with your next village along. Um, there's over 150 versions of Christianity.
Oh, more than that.
150.
There's more than that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think just with
yeah.
Christianity alone, to go into the different sects of Christianity, I
Mhm.
want to say there's over 200,000.
God, blimey.
And that's just because it goes into the different nuances.
Hmm.
And it's, I
And
mean,
what you do is your church in your village. I'm just going to use village as an example, just because I'm sat in one at the moment. That church, you go there on a Sunday, and you listen to that man, and that man has been spoken to by God. God's spoken to that man and said, "Man, your village needs to be collecting food here." And you go, "Okay, we'll all collect food. You're this, we're all got to, you've got to look after just your village." And I think that's where it kind of almost comes from. It comes from men who are eager. Their ego is I'm right because God's spoken to me,
right.
and
And
you have to. Yeah.
each one wants to be a prophet in their own right.
Yes. And my father would tick that box, but you'd never say prophet though. But yeah, yeah,
Right. Each
yeah,
one wants to be a prophet or a preacher, or they want
yeah,
to look as they've been called on to by God Himself.
yeah,
They are the essential right hand of God.
yeah,
And it's not that way.
yeah,
And that's what's so tragic about everything is all
yeah.
these different sects and cults and
Hmm.
religions and everything. People want to break it up, get all these little nuances, and cherry pick different things out of the Bible and say, oh, but wait, we're going to follow this. And it's like, no, you can't just cherry pick and live off one thing or the other. To me, if there was a such thing as a God and an all magnificent God,
Yeah.
A, there wouldn't be so much tragedy and
Mm.
um, like the genocide and things like that in the Bible. You know what I mean?
That's right.
There wouldn't
And
it,
then you understand why y- when you think, all right, okay, this village's church, I don't like what this man is saying. I'm going to go to the next village, see what he has to say. Oh, I like him. Let's stick here.
right? There wouldn't be all of that. The if there was a true all magnificent God,
Yeah,
that God would want one world where
yeah,
it's under one thing, and it would come under one roof of everybody getting along and everybody following the same rules.
mhm,
And it wouldn't be so hard to understand the different rules and regulations and um, centuries of things to what you should and shouldn't follow. It would be black and white. This is what you need to do. This is what you don't need to do.
Which takes us back to the 10 Commandments, doesn't it?
Right.
It takes us back to those 10 Commandments. Yeah. Yeah.
And people don't even know how to do that. I mean, heaven forbid. 10 commandments are so dang simple, and people can't even do that. And that's been around for how long?
Hundreds of years. Hundreds and hundreds of years. And they cherry pick. And the Bible's been cherry picked to make it what it is today. But you go back, I don't know about yourself, when I was young, it was the Good News Bible. I was given my first Bible was the Good News Bible, which was the King James Bible squished down
was the
to
Bible
children.
actually called the Good News Bible?
No, I'm just saying that the Bible,
okay.
when I was a child, I had a Good News Bible, which was a Bible specifically for children. So it sort of wishy-washed the King James Bible so that children can understand it and read it too. So again,
my children's Bible.
Yeah, go on, show me.
I cannot believe I still have this.
I can't believe. I was just about to say, I just need you to know. I was just like, you still got it.
I'm surprised I still have this. To be quite honest, it was in the burn pile.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. How old is that?
Oh my God, this is. I don't even know. It's quite old. This is a Bible. It was written in here December 20th, 1996.
Wow. So just 30 odd years ago.
And this is
that,
for
yeah,
4 children ages 3 to 7.
3 to 7. Well, one of the first books my mum bought my son when he was born was his own Bible. That's one of the first things she bought him. Yeah. Worried. He needs to know what God is saying. He needs to know what is being said. Where you don't need anything of that. You don't need any of that. All you just need is basic, logical, actually logical rules in your life, which are what the 10 Commandments are, aren't they? You know, don't shit on your neighbour. Don't kill somebody. Don't cheat on your wife. Just you wouldn't do that anyway, but it gets twisted and changed, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
But it is as simple as that, and saddens me so much, mate. It does sadden me. It really does.
Yeah.
I despair. I've just pulled myself completely away from my whole family, so I don't have to deal with it anymore. I'd much rather be on my own, so I don't have to just sit there and listen to the bullshit or the lie.
Miss Joe, you want to talk about kids and how things are pushed onto kids?
The grooming side of it.
One of the parts of the Bible that it's very controversial is the part about Adam and Eve and how people think Adam pushed the apple onto Eve, right?
The other way around.
Yeah, Eve pushed the apple onto Adam.
Onto man. Onto Adam. Yes.
Man's big mistake. Ye shall not die. And it's talking about the snake in the garden.
What do you think are the references there? What do you see as the symbolism that is being written about in that first chapter?
To me, if it was me off the street, I didn't know anything about that. If I was just looking at this picture, it looks like the snake was the evil one, not Adam and not Eve.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. There's Noah's boat.
Let's have a look. Goodness, look how they've done it and everything. They've given you a diagram of how it really is. Wow. And the story of Noah, discovering the story of Noah being across the world in all cultures, indicates that there obviously was a great flood of some sort. My opinion on that is the end of the Ice Age. I think the stories got passed down and got passed down and got passed down. And I think when the ice caps all melted, when we went back to, I think that was the moment that the Great Flood came. Plus, you've got huge, especially where, you've got exactly where I am now. And I'm on the coast of the Mediterranean at the moment. And in the middle of the Mediterranean, you've got an enormous fault line that, we had Turkey completely be destroyed and Syria destroyed about 6 months ago. North, sort of middle part of Turkey and Syria was completely annihilated by an enormous earthquake. And then along what happened then, we had 3 volcanoes go off along that fault line as well. And in the United Kingdom, we don't get earthquakes very often, and we had a 4.2 earthquake because it's on the same sort of. It's on a minor fault line, just from the natural shudder of that tectonic plate. But if you're living and you don't know anything apart from being in the Mediterranean, where I can go from here to Egypt on a boat, here to Italy on a boat, and so on, you can imagine if there was a huge earthquake, the wall of water that would have gone up right the way to the mouth where Morocco and the Rock of Gibraltar are, that whole area. I don't even know what's over the other side of those mountains. Neither would the people here, because why would they go there? Why would they go over the other side of those mountains? Because they have everything they need here. That would be a treacherous and a horrendous journey. But by boat, I can travel over to Italy from here. But then you've got the water would be going up 10, 15 meters from a tidal wave or tsunami. That would create a horrific flood here. That would create a horrific flood in Italy. That would mean that Naples, the supervolcano at Naples, would have gone off. But you didn't understand that then. They didn't have the technology or the understanding of tectonic plates and volcanoes and what makes them move. And you go, why is that water? Why have we been flooded? Why has this happened to us? And you need something to blame almost. Right. So you have to justify that. You have no understanding of it. We don't have the technology. We didn't have the technology back then. But you do know that wall of water is coming towards you, and it destroyed your town. you justify it by saying, well, God meant that to happen because too many of us are bad. You justify it. Or was it people were just trying to survive, just trying to live, you know? Oh, there's too many of you, we're going to wipe that out.
Like
Fascinating,
I
man.
said back then, people, the religion was definitely too prevalent back then, and that was the only way A, to justify it, and B, it was to keep other people in line, Miss J.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't only just to justify it, but it was to scare others.
Mm.
It was to say, look what happened here.
Yeah.
If you don't be good, if you don't do what God says,
Mm-hmm.
this could happen to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, quite
Sad, isn't it?
frankly, that's what they do.
It's sad.
It
It
is.
is.
It's a very fear tactic. And it's not just with Christianity, it's with every religious based.
Yes.
Everything is very fear organized, and um basically if you don't do what this says or what your God says, then this is what's going to happen. And it's a horrible way to live. And especially, I know for me, I don't know about you, but once I finally came out from that reprieve, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
of thinking of that all the time, that was like a heavy burden of, okay, I'm not gonna die of thinking this way. I'm not gonna die of not doing what I should do, living perfectly as a Christian.
Instinctively, we know what right and wrong is.
Right.
Instinctively. Instinctively.
I mean, I have to say, I mean, Miss J, my anxiety,
Mm.
just that alone, like I said, I used to go to bed at night literally praying and thinking, okay, Jesus, wash away all my sins. So that way, if I don't happen to wake up, I can go to heaven, because I want to make sure I'm pure of heart and I know that everything's taken care of so I can go to heaven. And just to know I don't have to do that, and I don't have to live in that fear, I'm good with that.
Isn't the brilliance of a confessional amazing?
Yes. Because it's I mean, honestly, the best way to put it is, Miss J, what is the worst that's going to happen? I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
if I die tonight and per se there is a God, okay?
Mm-hmm.
God says, Brandy, you lived in sin, you go to hell. Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
So
Or we go down the Jehovah's Witness route, which is actually you're going to turn to dust, and then God's going to make that decision when He's got rid of the rest of the planet,
right,
and then you can come back then, right?
right. I mean,
Or God said to this particular preacher, well, actually, I says if God says to this preacher, you can have 10 wives, that's okay. And then the village says, well, oh yeah, God's told me I can have 10 wives now. It's all right. Oh, right. Okay. So we can all have 10 wives? Yep. You can all have 10 wives. That's okay. Oh, okay. You can pray at the end of the day. As long as you do that, you're all covered. Oh, great. Thank you. That's brilliant. Job done. And it relieves that fear, I suppose. It helps relieve that fear doing that. It helps relieve the fear we were saying earlier on about the OCD thing, where you just go, right, I'll do that 3 times and then I know I'm covered. I'll say my Hail Marys 100 times and I know that's covered then. I know I'm covered then. I can go and kill somebody, but as long as I say 100 Hail Marys, it's all right. It's not all right. It's not all right. It's not all right to cheat on your wife. It's not all right to kill somebody. And
it's not all right to live in that fear either of,
no.
you know, am I going to have to go to bed and think of, you know, am I going to go to hell because I simply forgot to say, you know, Jesus washed me of my sins.
Mate,
I
just
mean,
hearing you say it breaks my heart.
yeah, because I mean, that's literally how we were taught.
Yeah.
And it was so fear-based and so heavily taught that if we did not wash away our sins, if we did not live by the teachings of the Bible, we did not live by the Christian ways and values, that we would go to hell. And
but those Christian ways and values are just in that particular village or that particular town or that particular city or that particular nation. It was just for that, and that's something people need to adjust to and see as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Because for me, it wasn't just oh, you're going to hell. It was a fire and brimstone, you're going to hell, you're going to burn to death, and it's going to be over and over and over and over again. You will not get retreat.
That's exactly what I was taught as well. Isn't that awful?
Yes. And
that's some serious grooming, isn't it?
Age, that's not right.
It's serious grooming. And we've seen from how religion, for example, Scientology, how that has been manipulated to the alien thing, and again, if you can't say anything that you know this information,
right? Like the whole Xenu thing.
Yeah. It's tragic. It is absolutely tragic.
That's
really
like, we don't have any kids, but if we were to have kids, we had already decided that religion would not be a part of the household, and it would be our child's decision when they got old enough. If they wanted to go to church, that would be their choice. We wouldn't stop them, but it would be an informed decision.
Yeah. Question everything, I used to say to my son.
Yes.
Got me in trouble doing that, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's very much an informed decision. And that's what I love about like some of the Scientologists that we've been seeing, like Claire and Mark Headley with their kids, and Aaron and his kids. They all decided Scientology, they're not exposing their kids to that. And I mean, I get it. I completely get it. And I'm like, good. They should definitely keep their kids from it. But at the same time, I think they should inform their children of it. Because of how much Scientology goes after them, at some point, their children are going to catch on. And they're going to know something's up. And then they're going to start questioning. And it's going to become one of them of curiosity kills the cat. And if you don't start informing and teaching your children of something like that, then it's going to be, they're going to look into it. And if they look into it the wrong way, it's going to be, they'll get into it because of looking into it. Does that make sense?
It does. Yeah.
So
it should be the parent should be able to educate their children that what right and wrong is, not what God is or what God isn't. What is right and wrong. I get on with my neighbours, for example. I've got elderly people who live opposite me. I say hello to them. I ask them how they are, and they check up on me because I know I'm disabled. So, you keep an eye on each other. Like, I've gone on holiday. My neighbours are keeping an eye on my house. My friends have just gone on holiday. I'm keeping an eye on their house. We look after each other. Here, I can see various houses here. My next door neighbour. I have no idea who they are. We don't speak the same language, but I will still smile and be polite. And I got a whole load of grapes from them off their grapevine. Just that's because you're loving your neighbour. You're giving to your neighbour as I will give back to them. I can give back to Jenny, who lives opposite me, by taking her for coffee every couple of weeks, and we sit down for a couple of hours in the coffee shop and we have a really lovely time because she lives on her own. Where my neighbour here, that I am here, have given me a whole load of grapes from their grapevine because I've just arrived. They're keeping an eye on me. They're making sure I'm okay. That is just a lovely thing to do, and we should be teaching our children to do that, not going, well, he said this and I don't fucking agree with that. Oh yeah, well, he's different to me. I don't want to speak to that person because he don't fucking agree with what I say. Yeah. If you don't agree with someone, you just don't talk to them.
There's a such
You
thing
just
as
get on with your life.
keeping it cordial.
Yeah. Yes,
Like,
keeping it yes. Good word. Well done. Still early in the morning here. You're actually the opposite way around. It's late at night here, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, you can still get along with somebody, keep it cordial, and just move on. You don't have to be hateful and be snippy, but keep it cordial and okay, move along. But people don't know how
Yeah.
to keep it cordial and graceful and just go along. And
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's a
even
basic thing. It's a basic thing. And
it
we
really
see on the news I see what's going on with you guys. You've got a lot going on with the different governmental shifts and everything that you have going on over there.
oh God, yes.
Um,
Politics are out of hand right now.
yeah, but that's all done on purpose. It's all done on purpose. All of it. All done on purpose. To keep you
I agree
angry.
100%.
To keep you... My God is better than your God. It's tragic, man. It really is.
Yeah,
Fucking tragic.
I
It saddens me so much.
there's people that would say, "Oh no, that they're really fighting and Republicans and Democrats and no, no, no. They what they are doing right now, I guarantee you 100%. This crap is all planned out. I
Yep.
guarantee you. All this crap with Trump,
yeah,
they know it all.
Yeah.
They know it all. They know he's guilty. 100%. They know Trump is guilty. They're going to drag it out as long as they can.
Well, it'll be a very new thing to have a incarcerated president.
Oh yeah, that it would be the very first.
Yep.
This is our very first president ever to even have fingerprints in a mugshot.
He'll be so proud of that. He'll be so...
Oh, he's smug. He is so smug.
And it goes back to him being a vicar in a village. Oh, this is what our vicar says.
His political campaign.
It's brilliant, isn't it? I think it's so clever what he's done.
I don't. I think it's stupid. I honestly, like the whole thing, I'm just like, I wish he would just drop the whole thing and just go on with his life.
That's never going to happen. His ego is the size of the planet.
Yeah. And what people don't understand And I wish they would. And not a lot of people agree with me on this. Is that if Trump would have stayed in House, if he would have got another term, he would have not left. He wouldn't have left. He would have become a dictator, and he would have stayed, and he would have made it to where presidential terms were not a thing anymore.
You really believe that he would have become a dictator? That's a
Oh,
fascinating thing to say.
100%.
Because obviously I'm not American, so I'm looking at this on an outside point of view.
100%.
Yeah, interesting.
He,
He
he's
don't
that
believe in God.
he's that type of
Do you know what I mean? But he uses it as a weapon.
he's very egotistical, and he wants that power.
Yeah.
And that's why with the whole thing with the documents, that's why he did what he did. Is he thought, "Oh, I declassified it. It's all fine." He didn't do it the way he was supposed to do it. He didn't go about declassifying it the legal Homeland Security route he was supposed to go to declassify and take the documents he was supposed to take. And he knew it. There's actually a phone call that they actually released with him saying he knew he didn't declassify the records, and that he was supposed to, and him even sharing the information was illegal. He knew it.
It's the same as a vicar here in the United Kingdom. I have to keep, it's like we boil it down when we've been doing this, because I can see you've got that fantastic ability to be able to do that and take it down to the black and white moment. It's again, we've had horrendous situations here with the Catholic priests, etc. Right? So I won't say the words. But again, it goes back to, that person's doing that. That person has done that. Yet you still follow them because you're so in this bubble that person is right. You still want to believe, because some of those things you believe are right. Some of those things, so you go, okay, I'll leave that bit there. I'll take that bit out. I'll forget the fact that he's actually a criminal. Let's just move that to one side.
Yes. We'll overlook
because
your
I
criminal
still,
act and just
that's it.
and keep
Yes.
you in power because you did do this and this. No,
That's
it
right.
shouldn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And that's the same for now. And I do hope that I can really help with your anxiety, because I know that with you, with like you were saying about being agnostic, you also want to look after and don't be horrible to people. You don't want to say, well, actually, I don't agree with this. But you are totally within your right to do that and stand in that and say, no, actually, what you're saying isn't true. Informing me, here is the evidence. There's no faith here. This is it. We don't need faith here. This is it. There is the evidence there. What you said is untrue. But I like some of those things, so I'm gonna just ignore that bit. I'll ignore that bit.
Right.
And we do it, that we ignore that bit. We ignored the bad behavior because you want to believe.
That's me. The only thing I
You
will
want to
say
believe.
that with the whole Christian thing is that, yeah, like I want to believe, but I know that there's no reason in believing in one particular God. I do believe that there is something out there, because
I believe there's an energy, by the way. I believe it's energy.
Yeah.
That's my belief. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some energy. There's some kind of
it's an energy that we feel.
Yeah, there's something definitely, but who am I to say what that is? And my thought in that is, who is anybody to say what that is? because we can't prove it. There is no substantial proof. And people's like, oh, but there's the Bible and there's the
Solid.
scrolls and there's okay. As far as the scrolls go, show me the actual physical scrolls that they wrote on for the Bible.
Yes.
And you know what that Catholic Pope is going to say? Not no, but hell no.
Yeah.
Because A, they don't want nobody touching them. B, it's all translated anyway. And C, when it comes down to it, the furthest back they can go is, it's not even that far back, because the original scrolls got burnt down with the temple that got burnt some, like, I don't know, 700-800 years ago, I think it was. And when that temple burnt, it burnt all them original scrolls. Everything's in ashes.
So the monks in the United Kingdom got together and they went, right, we're translating this, but we want it to say this. They ain't going to know. They ain't going to know that that's not what it says.
Right.
They're not going to know.
There's no.
They're not going to know if I just slightly change it to make it fit in with what my village says.
Physical evidence that somebody can hand to me and say, here is your proof of God, or here is your proof that Jesus existed. Okay, now what?
Yep. Faith.
You cannot physically prove to me. If you can't physically prove it to me, then I'm sorry. I'm not going to invisibly put my faith in something that you can't prove to me.
Right.
It's kind of like that trust fall exercise.
Yeah.
You are not going to walk up to a perfect stranger and say, hey, I'm going to trust that you are going to catch me. I guarantee 1 out of every 5 strangers, they're going to look at you like you're stupid and you're going to fall flat on your head. I mean, that's just how it is.
So you get up and move. It's a thing that happens because we can do that now. You know, we can go anywhere in the world we want to go. I can go up to those mountains right now and be on the top of them if I had the ability to do it. I could quite easily go and do it. Yeah.
I've come to the realization of you can't blindly have faith in anything. If you want something, if you need something, you have got to do it.
And that's pretty much how I wrote. You remember saying about the Facebook post earlier on? That's pretty much what I was saying. And we are our own God. We are our own being. If we don't maintain ourselves and our with food and with water, then we're going to get skinny and die. So you feed yourself and you do that. Where am I going with that? Hold it. Let's go back a bit. I've sidetracked. I went on a tangent. Bring that back. What were we saying just then? Sorry, I went on a tangent. Bring me back. Oh yeah, our own. We are our own. We have to have faith in ourselves that I can take that one step and go to the next step. I am in control of my body and what goes in it and what comes out of it, to the best of my ability anyway.
Right.
And I have, I have my own morals and my own standards, and I have to live by those. And if I don't do that, the only person I'm affecting is me, which can ripple because of love and loving family and whatever.
Yeah.
But it's my choice, my decision. I choose to go up to that mountain. I choose to go to the sea. I choose to get in it. I choose to love my pet, for example. You're not going to know that I've got a little rabbit and that he lives with me and we have a wonderful life together. But he's it's so complex. But we have to be in control of ourselves and what comes out of ourselves and what goes into ourselves. No one else is going to do that. I'm not sat here being fed food by somebody else each day. I'm sat here being fed food by myself. I created the food, I put the food on the table, and I fed myself. Dave down the road isn't doing it for me. I'm doing it. Just as Dave down the road is doing it for himself. And what we take in and what we put out, we have to stand in that. We have to stand in what we feel. And there are times when actually you don't need to say anything, because like your grandmother, why rock the boat where she's had this all her life? Just be there and say, I don't agree with you, Grandma, but that's cool, because you can believe that, because that's your decision. That's what goes into your body and what comes out of your body. That's your decision. I can't ever do that for you. I can't ever do that for my neighbor. I can't ever do that for my friends. They have to make those choices. And once you accept that, once you realize that you are your own being, you are what makes you you. The like we said about anxiety and faith, it's only us that can adjust that. If somebody chooses to disagree, I have the firm belief that is fine. you can that's okay. You can do that. But you have to also be accepting of the fact that this is how I live my life, and this is what I do to my body and what goes into it. It has no it's not your decision to tell me what should go in and come out of my body. I've spent, this is 3 years of having conversations like this, openly conversations like this, where I am allowing others to make the choice to disagree with me.
Well, it's kind of like back when I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
I've been diagnosed with ADHD since I was real little.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember vividly, I was 12 years old. Me and my mom went to the doctor for a routine checkup and blood work, the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember this doctor looking at me, and I remember to this day, I remember the doctor, everything. And he looked at me, 12 years old, and he told me, since I was diagnosed ADHD,
Mm-hmm.
that I would be on drugs and alcohol the rest of my life. 12 years old. And I was astonished, really, because number one, what doctor is going to tell a 12-year-old this? And they're essentially, you're telling a child you're going to be addicted to drugs and alcohol. And they're telling me this while my mother's in the room.
Oh, no.
I'm just like,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they did that, when actually what they should be saying is use your ADHD as a gift, that you've got for yourself. Use it in a way that will support you and also protect you. I'm actually exploring the idea of I'm exploring whether or not I have ASD, autistic spectrum disorder, and once I because I've been researching so much on what makes me me. You know, why am I me? Why am I slightly odd? Why am I slightly different to people? Why do I question? Why, like you said, you know, you've always been a why person. I've heard that a few times today listening to you. You know why? Because you're going, logically, what you're saying doesn't make sense. Where we are given a body and a shell, and we're in it, and we're out of it, or whatever. Doesn't matter how you kind of go about it. If you have something like ADHD, it can actually just propel you into an incredible life.
Right. Well, Michelle, the great thing about it, though, actually, I have to say, is that, you know, for most people, it could spiral them. It really could. It could send them down a very dark, deep path.
That's right.
But for me, it actually it did something to me to where I was like, you know what? No, you're not going to tell me what I can and cannot and will not be with my life. And it made me very determined. And I knew, being that and having that addictive personality, I had to watch what I did and how I did it. And so since then, I have watched what I take, how I take it, and I am a person that I, like, even now, like, I'm on Xanax, right, for my anxiety.
Okay.
I am actually prescribed to take it 3 times a day, every day.
Wow.
But because of me having that addictive personality, I don't take it like that. And I only take it when needed, when I know my anxiety is like through the freaking roof and I just can't deal. And that doctor saying that to me when I was that young, it sparked something in me, and I'm just like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna be one of them statistics, and I'm gonna prove him wrong. I'm not gonna be one of them people that are homeless and on the street because I'm, you know, that type A personality that's, you know, because I have ADHD, I'm gonna be on drugs and alcohol. No. And so I like to think, even though he was mean and very abrasive to me and should have never said it to me in the first place, that I learned from it. And I watch what I take. I don't even drink. If I do drink, I have like 1 glass of wine, you know, because I know, and I'm just
because you want to be in control of what goes in and comes out, not anybody else. Not anybody else. That's what's happened there. You've had one situation where you've been told, if you don't believe this, you're going to burn in hell for the rest for eternity, or if you take on board what a nut job of a doctor says, you're gonna have to take it on board. Do you know what I mean? And we're not told that. We're not told that as a child. We're not told. We don't have to take that on board if you don't want to. But I know with my son, I've been like that with him. I've said, you don't need to listen to that. You know what right and wrong is because I've educated you and informed you what right and wrong is, and you can understand on your just basically what's right and wrong. You know that. Everybody knows that. Unless you're an absolute psychopath, you do. You, like a bird knows how to fly. A cat knows how to meow. It's we know what instinctively how to blink. We also instinctively know that you don't go and kill somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
And to Kim's comment, Kim, I actually, back in, ooh, I'm gonna get the year wrong. So let's just say about 11 years ago, probably a little more than that, I was diagnosed with bipolar as well, and it was a
Hmm.
misdiagnosis. And I think it was due to the anxiety, um, because I had anxiety with depression, and it's actually major depressive disorder is what they call it. Um, but I had anxiety, and then I have the ups and downs. Like with my insomnia, because of course y'all can tell it's 2:05. I'm not even tired. Um, and so with my insomnia, I can go for days, and I can just stay up for days, and it's because of
Yeah,
my insomnia.
yeah.
And so
I was like that.
automatically, yeah, they automatically thought this is bipolar because my
Right.
insomnia, I'm up for days and days and days, and then
Hmm.
all of a sudden I'll crash
Yeah.
because of being up so long. My body just full out crashes, and then I'll sleep for forever long, and
Hmm.
I don't want to get up because I've been up so long.
Hmm.
And so then they automatically think that's the down on the downside of the bipolar.
Hmm.
And um, so I was misdiagnosed as bipolar 1 for a very long time. And I've had quite a few people, they were like, "You're not bipolar. I know what bipolar is. You're not bipolar." And I'm like, "Well, I had a psychiatrist diagnose me. I mean, you can't go wrong, right?" Apparently,
Yeah.
you can.
Yeah. I just reading the chat. I didn't realise the chat was there. Sorry, yeah. I've had a similar thing because I kick up a stink, or I used to really kick up a stink when something there was injustice that had come into play. So I'd go, feathers would ruffle and the hairs on the back of my neck would go up. I'd go, um, and I didn't sleep when I was young. I didn't sleep at all. Really, I was dreadful. I had massive bad insomnia, real bad, whirring round and round and round the same old questions. If there really was a God, then why am I like this? All those moments.
Oh,
You
I've
go
had
round and
that too.
round and round.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Um,
Quite frankly,
and
I'm
once
out on
you,
sleep
one,
meds right now too, so that just sucks.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's you have to, you have to be in control of yourself, and how you choose to um think and feel. I guess ADHD, it's slightly different, isn't it? Because your thought patterns and
Well,
um,
ADHD, your thought patterns are so scattered.
yes,
It's
yes,
you think you're insane. I mean, I hate to say it that way, but you really do. Because
mm,
I don't know about y'all. You two correct me if I'm wrong here, because I could be the only
hmm,
one thinking this. But with ADHD,
hmm,
we can sit here, have a normal conversation, be thinking, and all of a sudden, you could be thinking of a freaking blue monkey
hmm,
just out of nowhere, just because that's how your brain is. It
yeah,
just like and like seriously be thinking of a blue monkey
hmm,
and for no reason, like no damn reason at all.
hmm, yeah,
And
yeah,
and I would seriously be thinking, what in the hell is wrong with me? Why am I thinking of this shit? Like what you and when especially when you're first ADHD and you're really trying to, like you said, come to terms with it,
mm,
you don't know why. You really
yeah, yeah. The why question is a tricky one, isn't it? With why. we are why people. That's what makes us me and you,
Yes.
who we are. And having the why knocked out of you is shit. You get the why knocked out of you. No, that's how it is. You can't think about a blue monkey, so don't think about a blue monkey. And what happens? You just spend the next 3 weeks thinking about a blue monkey.
Right. Miss J is gonna contact me next week and be like, "Damn it, Brandy, you and your blue monkey."
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to do that now. A little, yeah. Yeah, you do. And the thing is, it's instead of why, instead of having the why question, it's saying, actually, it's okay to think about a blue monkey, rather than why am I thinking about a blue monkey? You can say, actually, I can think about a blue monkey if I want to, and I can think, I can think that, and then go, well, actually, I'm going to research what the fuck a blue monkey is, and go out and have a look and find out all about it. And we can do that.
Right. It's like
But
me too.
Yeah, go on.
Sometimes, and I think it's just because it's my brain, I will be sitting there thinking, especially if the room is really quiet. I'll be sitting there thinking, and all of a sudden, I think I can hear music. Do y'all ever do that?
All the time. I
There's
have.
no music playing, but you think you hear music.
I hear music in everything. The rain on the roof, the sound of a wheelie bin going up the road, the bird in the sky just with one tweet.
No, Miss J, I'm talking about like actual. You think like actual music playing.
I don't get that.
Okay, so I am crazy. No problem.
No, not at all. That again goes right back to what I was saying before. What goes in and what comes out is totally fine. If you have because see, for me, instead of it being a why, I'd say, oh, lush, I've got a little tune going on. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Vicky?
It's just, sometimes I have, and it's almost like, I don't know, like a jazz kind of thing or something. But it will all of a sudden be like, I hear music. And I'll have to be like, wait a second. No, that's not playing. And I have to really hone myself in and be like, okay, I'm good. There's no music playing, and get back to what I'm doing.
You might not even realize, you may actually be, that might be just, again, it goes back to just it being a wonderful thing rather than a negative thing. When you flip it on its head, it's but we have to come to that ourselves. As Kim says, music is everywhere all the time. I see patterns. I see I have a ability to completely understand. It's really weird to say this, but color. I'm an artist, and I used to be a musician, not anymore. But I do play music, as you know, in my show. But I understand music, and I understand art, and I understand color. And it wasn't until only recently, really, that I actually fully went, wow, people can't do that. And I thought that if I was to give you, say, what the colour the roof tiles are here, this beautiful terracotta, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can go in a workshop. If I'm given some paint, without even looking, I can create that colour to the exact colour of what the tile is, without even being in the same room as the tile, just because I've seen it. Yeah, I didn't know that anyone else couldn't do that I just thought everybody could do that. I thought if I was to give you a load of paint, you'd be able to mix it up too. Um, no, that's not no. People can't do that. If you've got
I would think that's just what comes to being a good artist.
but that again, it goes to, is it though? Is it, or is it something quite more unique than that?
It may be.
Yeah. Yeah. Pattern. I think with we've looked with the last 3 years, I can see patterns in things. I can see patterns in what's being said and formulations without realizing. I can see through it. I can see through what's going on there, and I can see the pattern of, like, for example, what's been going on with Trump. I can, you can see the patterns over the years of how he's played it out to make him become basically a deity in a way. He's a cult. It is a cult.
Oh yeah,
Trump's,
the MAGA is a cult. Yeah.
yeah, and you can see that, but you're accepting of that. But you need to be accepting of the wonderful music that you have and are creating for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess in a way me saying that was trying to make sure and
I know. You're not going loopy.
yes, and make
Yeah.
sure it's not something as serious as, like, not Parkinson's. What am I trying to think of?
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, or yeah, some kind of other serious thing going on.
Yeah.
But it, like you said, it could be just something that's just unique to me. And
Rox, there's Kim says her mantra is none of this is real.
yeah,
It's a good way of looking at it. Good way of looking at it. None of the music's real. All of the music is real.
I can't crochet, so
Yeah.
I can do one line. I'm good.
I have a couple of friends with ADHD who also suffer with severe insomnia.
God, my insomnia, it's actually it's been going on since I've been very little, like 3. It's kind of actually horrible. My mom and dad, when I was like 3 years old, I wouldn't go to sleep, could not go to sleep,
Mm.
and I have literally had my mom in tears because I could not go to sleep, would not let her go to sleep, and my dad had enough because I'd, put my mom in tears. And at the time, we had lived out in the country. And my dad was like, you know what, Brandy, if you're not going to sleep, you can go outside and play. And it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. He literally put me outside. 3 years old.
Yeah.
And of course, me being 3, that's like a tragic, oh my God, no, don't put me outside. So then I'm banging on the door, crying and screaming, and it's like, no, I'll go to bed now. And they told me, of course, I did go inside, and I went to bed, and I went to sleep after that. But me years later, when they're telling me the story, I was like, oh my God. I was like, we lived in the country. I was 3 years old. Like, didn't y'all think some coyotes could come up and take me away or something? I was like, that's horrible. But no, they were like, no, Brandy, you were literally out there for like a minute. I was like, but still. But apparently, my insomnia has been like literally since I was been 2, 3 years old. My mom said when I was little, she would literally have to go in my room, lay in front of my door on the inside of my room,
Right.
to sleep, in order just to get some kind of reprieve,
Yeah.
get sleep, because that I couldn't sleep, and that's how bad my insomnia was.
Now, that's because you've been conditioned that you must sleep between 8 a.m. and 7 a.m. the next day. Off you go to bed. Yeah. But with someone like yourself, you can't do that. Your brain's going nuts. You have to physically exhaust yourself to be able to go to sleep rather than exhaust your brain, because your brain's never going to get exhausted. It's constantly going to be thinking about new things, new ways of dealing with things, how to deal with things, the way to deal with things, and which angle those things should be dealt with. And you also come up with fantastic ideas that you go, I'll do that, I could do that, I could do that, I could do that. That's a good idea. What if I do, and it's a and it is a firing range of information being fired at you because of huge amounts of stimulation. And as a people now, we are very much overstimulated, and we go all of that is this is my opinion, all of that is totally okay. And once I came to a point where it's okay for me to think about that if I want to, it's okay for me not actually to go to bed yet, it's okay for me to create that idea in my head and go, right, that's it, I've got a new business plan for the next 6 months or whatever.
Right.
And then the next day you wake up and you go, oh shit, I forgot it. Shit.
I
And then you
know,
what?
right?
Yeah.
How many times have you come up with like that perfect ingenious plan,
Yep.
and you're like, I will do that tomorrow. You don't write it down, and it's gone forever.
Yep.
Oh, I've done that so much, and I'm like, God dang, I knew I should have wrote that down.
And if you only take 4 hours sleep for you to have enough sleep, that's okay.
But it doesn't. That's the kicker with me.
Right.
For me to get a good, solid sleep and for me to be well rested, I am that person that I need 8 to 10 hours of sleep.
Okay. Do you sleep twice a day, or do you, like, for example, do you have a siesta in the afternoon? And then
only if I could. Now that I'm working, I can't. When I wasn't working, oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, madman. Absolutely crazy. Crazy.
Like right now,
I had a 10 on my I had a tent on my bed at the age of 3 with a flashlight.
Right? It's 2:22 in the morning
Yeah.
here. So I'm not going to get a full 8 hours of sleep before I go to work tomorrow. So I can tell you I'm going to be cranky, but I mean there's absolutely nothing I can do. But I just have to kind of wing it and go on. But on the same hand, if the next 3 days after that, my work days are smaller, and I only work 12 to 7. So I'm like, at least that's good.
Right.
Today was my
long
day.
Okay.
I
haven't seen you online, so we've missed each other a while, haven't we? Yeah. Whereas the day's just starting here. I've got up and fed the cat and made coffee, and my day started. And I guarantee you that there will be 1,000 things that I've gone, that will make my life better by the end of today.
Oh, yeah.
That will improve someone else's life in a way that's better. Do you mask your ADHD? Do you mask it?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Not a lot of people know I have it. I've been asking for a long time to be put on Ritalin.
Oh gosh, okay.
I know I need it. It helped me when I was in school. Back when I was a freshman in high school,
Hmm.
they stupidly took me off Ritalin, and you could see automatically, boom, my grades dropped. I went straight to F's. And then they were like, "Oh, but now we got new things that are steroid free and da 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 da." And they wanted to try and put me on that. None of that crap helped me. Nothing. Nothing helped me. And
I have a particular type of weed that I get, that it's brilliant. It keeps me calm, but my creativity is still there,
uh huh.
and I have that. I use that. Uh, it's definitely changed my.
Yeah, I
It's changed
definitely want
me, I
to
think.
try and
Yeah.
get on Ritalin again because it helped my concentration
Right.
so much, Miss Shay. Like, it was night
And
and day.
I think also with something like that, we shouldn't feel afraid of um, trying stuff to see what does work. And I can see why, your doctor's gone out. What's going to happen is she's just going to go on to alcohol and drugs because that's the type of person
No,
she is. There we go.
no, because I have been doing gummies. So I'm with you on that.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
my anxiety. I'm
Yeah.
totally on board with you on that. Because like Kim just said, Stativia, that actually it doesn't help me. Stativia, it's it that fires me up more. Indica, yeah,
Right.
Indica
Yeah.
puts me in a couch. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I actually took. Is it right here? Yes, I took some new ones the other day, and I stupidly took a whole one. It was a hybrid,
Yeah.
and I took a 50 milligram whole pill the other day. Y'all, I couldn't get straight for 2 days after taking one pill.
You stoned as fuck for 2 days.
For two
Sorry,
days.
laughing. I'm sorry, laughing.
No, you
Jeez.
can laugh because it hit me all kinds of wrong. Thank goodness I didn't have to work. It was my 2 days off.
Did you?
I it was such a bad trip. It was so bad. So bad, you guys. Like I was withering on the couch,
Yeah.
crying. I felt like I was
Oh
going to puke
no.
everywhere. Like it was so bad. So bad. And I was like, okay, I'm never taking another whole coin again of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like ever. And
Definitely.
that's not even I bought two kinds, y'all. Two kinds.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not even the strongest one. And to put it even more perspective for you, okay, I'm in Texas. Texas has a law to where we can only have, let me get this straight here. Um, where is it at?
Tell you what, ladies, it's heating up over here.
Right?
Oh, you're saying. Right, so let's see.
0.3% in here of THC. So this is a hybrid. It doesn't even have that much THC in it at all. And that was bad. The other one, let me get it because that's what I was actually going to take tonight to go to sleep, and I haven't took it.
You began
I
dreaming
totally
about a blue monkey, don't you?
because this one, it's really really bad. Okay, because
There you are.
this it even says on the bottle, extra potent.
Yeah.
And it's 300 milligrams per tablet. compared to the 50 milligrams on that other tablet. I was like, there's no way in hell. Nope. I'm not even going to attempt to even take it, not even a half of that. So tonight, I got these and I quartered them up. They're in little bitty quarters. Okay, Kim. Have a good night. Yes, dream of the blue monkey.
Yep.
And so,
Absolutely lovely to catch up, Kim.
I had quartered this up. It's 300 milligrams per gummy. And this is just to help me sleep because I can't sleep otherwise. So I'm hoping
Press the wrong button. I'm just make sure that. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I'm hoping this
Yeah,
one will
I'm
help.
back with you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, and you've got more control over it then. Now that you've done that, you've got more control over what goes in you. You're saying, right, I know that if I take this in moderation,
Hey, Mom.
you've divided it all up, so you can up
Right.
it or down it.
Right. Because this one, it even says start with half of a gummy and wait 30 minutes to an hour to feel effects. Adjust as needed. Extremely potent. So I thought, okay,
Yeah.
I'll take a quarter. We'll start with a quarter of one and go from there.
Yeah.
Because the 50 milligrams put me down for 2 days. I don't want to be down for 2 days. And with this one already saying it's extremely potent, I definitely want to be cautious.
Yeah.
And so we shall see how my.
Do you have certain things that trigger you? Do you have certain things that certain foods that make you worse?
For my IBS, yes. My anxiety, not so much. My anxiety, what triggers me more is really upset people. And
okay.
If I'm in a car, believe it or not, my anxiety's got really, really bad lately if I'm a passenger in a car. Like, it's gotten to the point of I really, really hate being a passenger in a car.
Yeah.
And so I've really become more of a hermit on that.
That again, I fully understand. It's easier to be alone than to have to deal with someone else and someone else's actions or driving or whatever. It's easier to be on your own to do that. Because it removes the anxiety. Hi, Matt. Hello, lovely.
That smells so terrible. Like, it smells like the wrong end of an asshole. Whew.
You need a way of being able to manage your thought processes so that you can manage your anxiety. Do you do see I use NLP, I neuro linguistic programming. I do mindfulness. So what I have a in my brain, I have it that I see it as an enormous warehouse, like the one in Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, at the end where he puts the Ark in that box and they put it in that huge warehouse, and off it goes and gets put in that warehouse, and there it is. I know where all of my boxes are. I have a library of boxes that if I wish to open that box, that I take that box physically in my brain. God, I kind of physically in my brain. That doesn't make sense, does it? I get
If you can figure that out, Miss J, definitely let me know, okay?
okay. Okay. Mm.
Mock, just so you know,
Mhm.
go back and listen to the beginning of this conversation.
Mhm.
We had a great conversation tonight, just so you're aware.
I've loved it. I'm so glad we've had a chance to even talk because I've been wanting to have a conversation with you for ages. And it's catching
You could have
each
emailed
other.
me.
Oh yeah, I know. I forget. And then it's like, oh yeah, I was meant to do that.
Oh, now the nasty burps are coming. Oh,
Meant to do that. Oh gosh. It's about start with smaller challenges to strengthen your comfort zone. Yes. Yes. Yeah, it does. It does start with smaller challenges.
see,
Um
mine is I've had that, and now it's it's not about strengthening my comfort zone. My comfort zone, like it's been out there because, like I was telling you, Miss J, like I was the extrovert. I used to
that
be there. My
but that
comfort
was you
zone.
masking. That was you masking, wasn't it?
I guess so because I mean I
Yeah.
used to be the extrovert. I used to be the one that's out there doing it all, and now
hmm
I'm just like, man, leave me alone. I don't want to be
I
that
have
way.
I personally have what I like to refer to as the clown mask. My
And what do
clown
you mean
mask,
by that?
where I put on the
Funny.
show and the makeup or whatever, just sort of not necessarily makeup, but like a mask of actually underneath. I have huge anxieties about everything. But if I put on a clown mask and be funny and um, uh,
Um,
witty or whatever,
yeah, you try
um,
to you try to
hmm,
be the funny, outgoing one to mask everything.
yes, yes. And I have only the last, I know, 15, 20 years, really 15 years probably, started to realize that that's what I do to protect. It's almost like a protection
Well,
for
yeah.
the inner child. Yeah.
That's everybody's instinct, I guess. They want to
Yep.
protect themselves, you know?
Yeah.
And you feel like if you don't protect yourself, then there will be nothing there to protect.
Well, yes. You don't want to be
Vulnerable.
exposed and
Hmm.
vulnerable. Yeah. I've allowed myself these last 3 years to well, like we were saying about going out of comfort zone, I've allowed myself by becoming a YouTuber, becoming a YouTube creator. I'm allowing other people now to come in and see um, the good and the
Your
bad and the ugly.
vulnerabilities.
Yes, and if someone chooses to attack that vulnerability, which they do, I've had it on many occasions. Um, that that's that's their problem. It's not mine.
Right.
It's not mine. It's not my problem. That's your problem. That's their problem. If they choose to, like when people troll, that's their decision to do that. They might not necessarily agree with what they're even saying, but they'll still do it to just to cause a reaction. Um, it's the same with ourselves. We do it to ourselves. Like what goes in and what comes out. It's up to ourselves. It's us that does it, not God, not anybody else. Just us, just me, only me, only me. Um, and I box away, those things that we've done in our lives that you think, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that, but I did. Um, once you realized that I shouldn't have done that has been done, and actually it's okay because that's what you've decided to say or do. It's only you who you're fighting with there, not anyone else. It's just you. It's just you battling with yourself rather than battling with what other people say. I'm accepting of other people's opinions and views and thoughts. I accept that it's different to my own. It's different to the village next to me. It's different to the house next to me. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I make sense there? Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I explained that well enough then.
Oh yeah, well,
Um,
like me, I, like what you were trying to explain earlier. With me and basically getting out and explaining religion and the anxieties of religion and stuff like that, and basically not letting people bully me over it.
yeah,
Um, and I completely get that and agree with that,
yeah,
because that's what I was saying on my live earlier. Is that um, it's not that I'm trying to bash religion or any
yeah.
certain religion. It's that
Hmm.
it is my trigger. It's where I'm coming from, and this is
Hmm.
how I experienced it. And the only reason I am
Yes.
doing this channel is to have a safe place for everybody to come to and talk about, whether it be religion or a different cult or just a safe place to come and talk, period.
We can all have completely and utterly different belief systems, and that's
Hmm.
okay.
Right.
Again, it goes back to going in and coming out. You it's it's your decision. It's your choice, and whether you choose to believe it or not, it's your choice. It's not my parents' choice. It's not my grandparents' choice. It's not my children's choice. It's my choice, and I'm going to choose what goes in and what comes out. And each day I have to look at that. I do. It's not like, oh, I'm saying it and it's just, I do. Um, uh, it, Religion has a lot to answer for, and a lot to um, the deaths and the wars, because my God is a fearful God. My God is a loving God. Um, all of those. It goes back to you instinctively know what is right and what is wrong. You instinctively know. You
Right.
instinctively know. Um, that's been bashed out of us. I've got to get my phone's going to die. Hold on, I'm just going to go back in. My mum's going to get my battery.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'm not losing signal. No, not one day.
Y'all should have heard her earlier. She put her phone down and she's like, "Stay right there. Just stay. I'll be right back." I was like, "What am I gonna do? Grow legs and walk away?" So Electric and Mock, where are y'all? What time is it where y'all are located at?
Oh, plug it in. These plugs are so weird.
Mock,
Right, get the plug in.
I'm with you. We do just a small butcher's store here. Oh,
plug you in.
Lecture, really? Ooh, I need to come see you in Sydney. Yeah, it's 2:44 a.m. here.
It's 9:45 in the morning here. I'm in Croatia.
Oh, Mark's in Germany. See, I just need to make my trip around the world to everybody. Miss J's in Croatia, Lectric's in Sydney, Maka's in Germany. I just need to make my little trip. Come see everybody.
We're all
I
we're
really
all
want
around the world doing the same thing, thinking the same thing. That don't make sense. Why doesn't that make sense? What am I doing in Croatia? I have one of my closest friends has bought a house here with her husband. They've retired. And at Christmas, my friend said to me, "When are you coming to see me?" And I said, I don't know because I'm not well enough. So she set me the goal of getting me to Croatia this year. It was
She's in the Mary Mother place. Sorry, I had to go there.
yeah, and so I've worked really hard for my physical health to get me here. And I did it. I did it. I did it. I did it. I worked really hard. It didn't matter the foot's still buggered, the back's still buggered. There's nothing I can do about that because that's how it is. It just is. But
Bugger.
what
Does that mean went out?
it's buggered. Buggered actually means something I can't really say online, but it's a phrase. A phrase meaning it's broken. It's broken. Yeah, thank you. I've worked incredibly hard since Christmas to get to see my best friend.
Voicemail at 2:46 in the morning. Who in the heck's calling me at 2:46 in the morning?
3, 4 where you are to. We have an anxiety-friendly town with all the space and water. Berg, 2 hours to the North Sea. I'm on the Mediterranean coastline at the moment. A place called Dalmatia, with its loads of different islands. Yeah, my friend's been amazing helping me get to this. She's been such an encouragement. And she even said to me before I came about a month ago, she said, if you can't do it this year, just keep working so you can come next year. I said, no, I pushed through and pushed through. And I did it. And then, yesterday I went for a walk and I went out to dinner on my own. I had dinner in a restaurant on my own in front of loads of other people having dinner. Oh yeah, hope you tend to. Good old Grant. Yeah, you got it. And I'm working through my trauma. I'm working through. I said I get that box down from my imaginary shelf in my head, and I look at it. And some days I can't deal with it. Some days I just can't deal with it. So I go, right, that's just going to stay on the shelf. I know it's there, but I'm going to continue on with my day, and not allow that box to be open. And when it does, when I have that sort of start thinking about it, I go, actually, I don't need to have that box open today because I don't need to deal with that today because I'm doing this, that, and the other. There are times where you just go, right, okay, I've got to get that box down because I have to address that. Why has my body done that? Why am I thinking these things? Why am I saying these things? Why do I react the way I do?
Special, Miss J.
The small wins are a win. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely, completely. My friend he's got ADHD. He has real trouble sleeping, and he'll sleep in the afternoon. He'll go to bed in the afternoon because and even if he's not asleep, he'll still give himself that rest time.
If I
Um,
could, I would sleep during the day. I can sleep better during the day than I can at night.
so many people say that.
That's what
You're not.
with my job. I actually asked for an overnight shift, but they don't have one. So I asked for the latest shift they could give me because I'm like that.
I'm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And once we realise it's okay, that's the other thing as well. It's realising it's okay. It's all right. It's all right to be not sleeping because you've been grilled. It's been grilled and grilled. It's not okay. It's not okay that you're not sleeping. Whereas you might only need 3 or 4 hours sleep a day. Yeah.
Electric, I'm like that. Like right now, it's 2:51 in the morning. I should be asleep, but I'm not.
Should we go for 10 more minutes so that you can?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you do need to go to bed.
I do.
Got work tomorrow.
We did start out, Miss J, of saying this was only going to be 30 minutes, and 2.5 hours later, we're still talking.
Shut up. Seriously. 2.5 hours?
Yeah, we've been on here 2.5 hours.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes by quick.
Wow.
Y'all, no joke. If you go back and look, I was on a live for an hour by myself. Miss J came on there. Like, literally, what was it, 10 minutes? Not even that. After,
Not even that. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
not even 10 minutes before my live ended. And she was like, dang, I missed you. And I was like, okay, well, we'll get on for another 30 minutes. I set her all up, and we get on. And we've been sitting here talking for 2 hours and 37 minutes, actually.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That's mad. I honestly, wow. 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 And that shows you we did need to have a chat.
Right?
Yeah, I really did. She's going to be dreaming of blue monkeys.
Electric, guy or girl? Uh,
You should go to sleep and dream of. Who would you dream and what would you dream? Who would you want to dream of?
either equal opportunity.
Okay.
Okay, so my celebrity crush, actually, there's two.
Mine's easy.
Usher, for sure, and Ryan Reynolds.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And the one just to be friends with, ooh, that's hard.
Dawn French. She's an English actor and somebody I'd like to be friends with. And my celebrity crush is Daniel Craig, who was 007.
Oh, I know who. The commie guy that does karaoke in a car. And he has
Oh,
to
James
recount
Corden. James Corden.
Yes, him. That would be a good guy just to be friends with.
Yeah, he would be. Yeah, he would be good friends with me. He was a sitcom actor here in the UK before all of the film stuff that he did. He used to write these amazing little sitcoms for BBC and things like that when he was young. And he was in he's been an actor that's always been around on the telly, so we've watched him grow up and then become who he is now. And he knows what's wrong with him, and he's quite open about it. He's honest about it, and he goes, yeah, well, I need to do this, this and this. And have I done it? No, because he's chosen to go decide what goes in his body and what comes out of his body.
Right.
He's another one, He didn't give a shit.
Celebrity crush is the Magic Mike guy that does Pony. What's his name?
What's his name? Channing Statham.
Yeah, Channing Tatum.
That's it. Well, I've got a story about him, but I won't do it now. So we've got 5 minutes. Daniel Craig, yeah, man, totally Daniel Craig. Yeah, Channing Statham. Yeah, that's it. Tatum or everything. He used to hire a cottage where I used to live, so I used to see him in my Sainsbury's, which is my local supermarket. It's really weird. You're walking along and there's Channing Statham in your local supermarket. Tatum or whatever his name is. Yeah. Yeah. Used to go to a cottage just near where I used to live. Yeah, Daniel Craig, all day long. Oh, and do you know what? My ex-husband, to be fair, did look a bit like Daniel Craig as well. Yeah, definitely got a type. I have definitely got a type. Right, Kettle, let's put you back on again because 2 cups of coffee isn't enough for today. I'm going down the beach today.
Ooh, have fun there.
Yeah. Off down the beach to sit and in fact, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm reading Mike's book. To be fair,
no comment on my crushes. Y'all both are like all over Daniel Craig.
I know he is yummy. He is. I'm reading Mike's book. I'm on chapter 3 of Mike's book. What's my today's read? Yeah. But I want you to, when you go to bed tonight, just be really accepting of who you are and what makes you you, and start loving you.
I won't think.
I want you to start loving you and cherishing you and giving you a virtual hug. I did. Oh, the only thing is the mosquitoes.
Mop said sand between the feet is the best.
If you ever want to do this again, now that we've finally got around to actually starting, because we've been meaning to do this for ages, if you ever want to have these conversations and share these conversations with other folks, or you just want to talk to me one-to-one, I'm here.
Yeah, totally.
I fully understand what you feel and what you're feeling and what you're going through. You yourself, and in fact, Doug, Doug Kramer. Doug also has I can relate to Doug quite a lot as well, and what Doug shares and talks about with his life and how he feels and how it's affected him, and the way he's working through that trauma. Yeah, I can relate to that.
Yeah, I like pretty much all the SPTV channels. I don't think there's many of them I don't like.
Each bring a unique perspective to the table. And you can take parts of all of those things that you hear and listen to um, and you can take those bits and look at them in your own life and how it is like that in your own life,
Right.
you know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I really like that too. Yeah.
I do too. I think that's part of what drew me to SPTV in the first place. Is like, yeah, I'm not part of Scientology. I didn't grow up in Scientology, or I didn't even know about it until the aftermath came out. But
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah.
it's it still goes with that cult mentality of being within the Christianity religion and the cult.
Yes. And not
Hey,
just
Electric.
it can be I was gonna say the wrong thing then, so I'm gonna because I was gonna just about start another conversation then, and I don't want to do that because you need to go to bed.
Yeah,
Um
it's. I think it's great to just all together having SBTV community as a whole, and how we all can come together no matter what the situation is, basically. And just like us never ends, we we can still come together and join together while also seeing our other SBTVs and coming together and listening to the Scientology part that we still all like. Does that make sense?
yes, yes, it does. It does make sense. You can relate it to your own life, can't you? You can
Mm-hmm.
relate it. Yeah. And that will be the same for other people in other religions too. Um yeah, yeah. Gosh. But I want you to sleep well. Um and enjoy yourself and your own thoughts. Don't feel anxious about them. All of that racing and speedy flashes of stuff that goes through your head constantly. Um, give it all a place and a time. Um,
I'll definitely give it a go.
yeah, yeah. And I want I'm here now. Now that I said we've now you've got me on Facebook. That's it. You'll see what I'm up to. You're
Yes.
seeing, yeah, you'll see the real me on Facebook because I don't let many people in. Um,
That's
um,
awesome. Yeah, definitely same for you. You can go ahead
mm,
and
mm. And I want you to always know that I'm just around the corner. Okay,
okay.
okay, all right, my
Uh,
lovely, and
well,
all the lovely people that have said all the lovely things in the chat. Thank you so much.
yes, thank y'all. Y'all
I've had
have
a
a great
lovely time.
night.
I can't believe we've been on the. Oh, I can't believe we've done this for 3 hours.
Yes. All right. Well, you have a great day and
Yes,
take some
yes.
lovely pictures and have a good day at the beach.
I will. I will. I'm going to enjoy the beach and I'm going for a burger later. That's my treat.
Perfect.
All right, my love. Have a wonderful, 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 wonderful day tomorrow. And give the dog a cuddle from me.
Definitely will.
Right. Yeah. And I'll catch you soon, lovely.
All right. Have a good night. Bye,
And you.
y'all. Have a
Bye,
good night.
everybody. Bye, guys.
Bye. I said in broadcast. Yes.